Hello, my name is Jordan Blaine Hammond. I am a student at International Christian College and Seminary, and I would like to talk to you today, if you will permit me, about the subject of faith. Well, what is faith? Well, I've given you my credentials because I don't expect you to have faith that I know what I'm talking about. I have given you verbal evidence that I am a student in theology, and so hopefully you will have the belief that I may know a little bit about what I'm talking about. Maybe not as much as others, but I know a little something. So let's start. First, some synonyms for faith: trust, belief, confidence, conviction in, or reliance or dependence upon. The dictionary defines faith in two ways. The first is a complete trust or confidence in someone or something, and the second is a strong belief in God or in the doctrines of religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. Sounds complicated, maybe? So let's break it down. The first definition is a general faith. An illustration would be, if I'm about to sit in a chair, I usually don't check the chair before I sit in it. I just take a seat. So I have faith that the chair won't break underneath my weight. It's a general faith. And I believe that when I sit in any chair, it will hold up. Sometimes the chair might break and I fall flat on my butt and I might have a difficult day. Next time I might check a chair, but I won't do it for long. Either way, the first definition is that we have a general kind of faith. But we're going to focus on the second point, which is dealing with theology. Things pertaining to God, religion, or spirituality. So, 3 questions that I want to ask. Is faith blind? Do I need faith? And is there any evidence for faith? And we're going to talk generally about all 3 of these topics in this video, but we're going to brush upon them more in other videos because faith is a deep subject, one that we can't cover in just 7 minutes. So, is faith blind is the first question we're going to ask. Well, if you don't know who St. Augustine is, this is how he puts it. Quote, "Faith is to believe what you do not see. The reward is to see what you believe." So, if somebody asks you something, and they say, "Hey, what is your faith based on? What facts are there?" What would you say? Most people might say, I don't know. Or, I just have faith because I do. The Bible tells me it. Or, I think that I have faith because I believe there's a God. There may not be any real solid evidence in your mind. So I want to help you with that today. So we're going to jump into a text here. It's Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. And it says this: "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Notice the word evidence. Our faith, if it's based upon God and that there is a God, it is based on evidence. You don't have to believe something off of blind faith, because really, blind faith isn't really faith at all, and we can talk about that later. So, what are these evidences? Going back to the kinds of evidence, this answers our third question. Is there any evidence for faith? Well, in the court of law, usually there are 3 types of evidence they use: documentary, physical, and testimonial. The first kind of evidence we're going to talk about is the Bible. This is our documentive evidence. We believe the Bible to be the written word of God. So, this is our documentive evidence. In the court of law, it would be admissible. What about physical evidence? Well, if you look around you, if you see a tree, a baby, human beings walking around you, the sunrise in the morning, any sunset, the stars, the moon. Look online, you'll see galaxies. God has created these things, and they all scream with his magnificence, with his power, with his glory, with his awesomeness. So, creation is our physical evidence. It screams that God is real. The third kind of evidence, and it's the most strong evidence out of the three, even though the other two are very strong, it's testimonial evidence. Your testimony is the strongest evidence that you have. Nobody can argue with what God has done for you. If you believe something to be true and God has done it for you, who can argue with that? Your truth is your truth. No one can take that from you. Faith, therefore, is not blind. It is based on sound evidence. So, question number 1, is faith blind? No, faith is not blind. It is based on solid evidence. Do I need faith? Yes, faith is a key element in living life. We all need a certain level of faith. If I'm going to sit in a chair, I need to have faith that that chair won't break. If I'm going to go to sleep at night, I need to have faith I'm going to wake up the next morning. Although that's not guaranteed, we know that faith is in all things. Lastly, is there any evidence for faith? Yes, there are 3 kinds of evidence, and we discussed them: documentary, physical, and testimonial. These are the types of evidence that show us we have faith. So I hope that you will be able to answer better the next time someone asks you, do you have faith? Hello, my name is Jordan Blaine Harmon.